Okay, so tonight's episode was a nail biter, and that's why I'm watching Claim to Fame. This is a review for Claim to Fame, Season 2, Episode 4. Like I said, things were really down to the wire tonight, trying to figure out what was going to happen. We did see the contestants, they kind of split into two factions tonight. We had Chris's faction, which was Chris, Olivia, Carson, and I think it was just the three of them. Yeah. And then you had Shane's faction, which was Shane, Monet, Gabriel, and Cole. And then, JR, I think he may have been in Shane's faction. And then Hugo decided he was going to kind of bounce around and play both sides, which no one fell for. But yeah, they had a blindfold challenge, and they had the clues where they were supposed to, go out and grope them, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, I don't get the clues. And full disclosure, I already know who all the celebrity relatives are, but, I kind of feel bad for Carly, because I think the clues for Tom Hanks were pretty obvious, and then some of these other people, it's like, okay, well, how is that a clue for so-and-so? Yeah, it's like an obscure reference to some small thing that they did once, sometimes. Anyway, it came down to Cole having to pick, and he betrayed Shane because Shane was flirting with him the whole night, and they were trying to get him to send Carson home because they thought that Carson's relative was Jeff Gordon, because the clue says race car driver, which JR got, but then he thought it was Jeff Gordon because he's 24. Once again, some of the clues are pretty obvious, and some of them was like reading hieroglyphics, and the Zodiac code. And, that's when they showed Hugo's, it's like, I already know who Hugo's relative is, and I still didn't get what the clue was saying. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, I didn't think that Cole's betrayal of Shane was that surprising. I could tell by the way he was saying things, it was going to be, Shane. And he had already betrayed her, all right? He had gone to Carson, said, hey, Carson, we all think you're Jeff Gordon's relative, all right? And then she took that information to Chris, who took it to Hugo and Gabriel. So a lot of betrayals. Kind of like, Game of Thrones, but no garden. Anyway, Shane got sent packing. She, of course, was the daughter of Eddie Murphy, which also makes her the niece of the late Charlie Murphy. Like I said, I already know who all the relatives are. About half the people in this are related to two or more celebrity relatives. So how does that work out if they guess one of the celebrity relatives, but not the one that they're setting up? Like, with Carly, it was Tom Hanks, but she's Rita Wilson's niece. So if there was some clue about the movie Volunteers, which the two of them were in, and someone said, oh, Rita Wilson, you're Rita Wilson's niece, that would have been true too. Would it still count? They're like, no, that's not the relative we're looking for. I'm wondering that. Anyway, predictions for next week. Obviously, Cole now has a big target on his back, but I don't know how much that's going to play into whether or not he goes home, because I think Monet is the only person who's really going to be out to get him, because, she was best friends with Shane, and of course, he betrayed Shane. Everyone else is probably indifferent towards it. But he's got to watch out for Monet, and I wouldn't be surprised if she threw the match and got herself in the bottom so she could send him home. And that might happen. Once again, he could get immunity, which means he wouldn't have to worry about going home. Hugo, I think, people know who he's related to, so he would be my pick for next week. All right, and that's it. We'll see what happens.